Morning, everyone. All right, so we have a press conference at noon regarding Codi and his dad, Cory. Cory has been charged with 7 counts of neglect. He was to be in court today for an arraignment. I'm going to share my screen. I have a couple of news clips I want to share before the press conference comes. So we'll start with that. All right. I can't see chat, so just let you know. Okay, so this is
for WTKR.com. We're standing in front of the Hampton Juvenile and Domestic Relations Court, where just in the last hour, Cory Bigsby, father of missing 4-year-old Codi Bigsby, was arraigned on 7 counts of child neglect. We learned that there will be a bond hearing next Tuesday. It's set for 10:30 in the morning, and that's the next time he will appear in court. Now, Bigsby himself appeared on screen today as he was read his charges. The hearing didn't last any more than a few minutes. Afterwards, we were able to speak with his attorney, Jeff Ambrose, outside the courtroom, and Ambrose wanted to make it clear that these charges are not connected to Codi's actual disappearance from earlier this week. Instead, court documents suggest they stem from a couple of incidents, the first happening December 13th, when the documents say that Bigsby left 4-year-old Codi and his 2-year-old twin siblings alone at home for 3 hours while going to purchase a car in Norfolk. And then there's another complaint that suggests he left his children again on January 25th. His 3 children I just mentioned, and an additional 5-year-old sibling as well, for a couple of hours while he went out and visited multiple locations. So that is where those 7 counts of child neglect come from. Now, one concern that Bigsby's attorney talked about outside was the fact that he has not been able to meet his client yet. He says he went to Hampton Police yesterday intending to talk with his client, and he says he was denied entry. Of course, that's something we're going to have to bring up with Hampton Police and kind of find out, their side of the story there, but certainly something interesting to come out of this interview. But again, things really just getting underway, the arraignment just finishing, only lasting a couple of minutes. Next stop is that bond hearing set for 10:30 on Tuesday. Of course, for any updates, keep it here on WTKR.com. And
all right, so that is the about the arraignment. So I'm just going to stop my screen here for a second. So the arraignment was not regarding Codi's disappearance. It was, like he said, regarding leaving his children alone on, I guess, 2 separate occasions without adult supervision. All right. So I know that, let me just look it up here. Share my screen again. Oh, I thought these were supposed to, okay. So welcome everybody who are just coming in. I'm going to share my screen again. So Hampton Police Department did, wrong one, sorry. I'll close that out. Did a press release yesterday. Okay. It's update on the Codi Bigsby investigation dated yesterday, February 3rd of 2022. The press release says Hampton Police Division, along with our federal and regional partners, have conducted a very thorough search since the time Codi Bigsby was reported missing on January 31st. We have covered tremendous amount of ground, spoken to hundreds of citizens, and followed every possible lead at this time. Codi still has not yet been found. Our search efforts to find Codi will continue through the weekend. As a result of the investigation, Mr. Cory Bigsby is now under arrest. He has been transported to the adult intake, where he has been charged with 7 counts of felony child neglect. And then it goes, this is not the conclusion of the investigation process, we will continue to do everything in our power to find Codi. Okay, and it just goes on. Members of the media are invited to attend the press conference today at 12 at the Rupert Sargent building located at 1 Franklin Street, Hampton, Virginia. I'm hoping that I can find that live because this is what we're here for. Okay, so I'm going to close that out. And what else can we find? Oh, there was, I wanted to play, crap, where is it? Let me look for it. Sorry, guys. Codi. All right, video. Now I'm going to make sure I get the right one because, was this the one? I knew I should have saved it. Dang it. What's that? Oh, no. Sorry, guys. I got doing something else, so I didn't get everything up and running. Okay, I think this is the one. This just goes over the... I'll share my screen again. Okay, this is the one. All right. Let me just pause it for a second and start from the beginning. Unmute.
6 o'clock, we told our viewers that we had gotten that tweet from the Hampton Police Department to expect an update in the investigation. And a source
now, this is from last night.
The investigation tells News 3 that the father will be charged with child neglect. He has been at the Hampton Police Department since Monday when he first reported that Codi was missing. Now, I want to kind of give you a big picture view of what's been going on here at the command center here as we continue to wait for new developments. And so we have, and someone just got in my ear, this is live TV, folks, and so we just got this additional information, 7 counts of child neglect. We just got that 7, and this is stemming from last month. And so I just want to be transparent with you that information is being fed to me in through this earpiece because we were waiting for these developments. I've been checking the Twitter page for the Hampton Police Department. I've been looking at my phone for any kind of emails, updates. And so again, let us repeat, 7 counts of child neglect for the father, Cory Bigsby, who has been at the Hampton Police Department since Monday. He has not gone home. He has been there the whole time. Now you may be saying, all right, but what other charges might be coming right now? The search continues for Codi. So right now, those are the charges. And depending on how this investigation goes, there could be additional charges. I referenced that kind of big picture view of the command center here. We've got a mass cam, and I just want to pop that up for a second to just kind of show you still a lot of resources out here. From across Hampton Roads, I mean, we've got various agencies represented, not just Hampton Police, FBI, Virginia Department of Emergency Management. And today we noticed that also Suffolk and Chesapeake had resources out here. Now, if we had the ability to pan this over, so if we pan over, we can kind of show you that while the command center is here, as we pan over, we can show you where the apartment complex is, where there has also been tremendous activity. This is where Codi was living with his father and siblings in the Buckrow Point apartments. And we had some video at the top of our newscast that was showing you the bags of evidence that were pulled from that apartment today. So a lot of developments out here. Our team coverage continues now back on the ground with News 3's Antoinette Delbell. And Antoinette, I know you've been hearing from the community. We've seen people come out here volunteering to help with the search and also people coming out to help drop off goodies for the officers who've been out here for a 4th day. What are you hearing from the community?
Yeah, Kurt, that's right. The concern is growing here as that search continues into its 4th day. But also, The community support is growing too. Now, we've had a lot more people come out on their own to join in this effort, and others who wanted to help in a different way. We spoke with a mother who has a 4-year-old son herself. She says they wanted to make cookies for the crews here and bring dog treats for the canines to help keep their spirits up in this grueling search.
You know, we have all these people here that are working. The least we could do is make some cookies to try and make their day a little bit better in the search for him. We're doing anything and everything we can. And it's these nice gestures that keep us going, that's for sure.
Okay. And we also saw a small search team known as CERT, that stands for Community Emergency Response Team. We saw them go into a large wooded area about 2 miles from this command post here, known as the Fox Hill neighborhood. So it would seem as though that crews are now expanding that search outside of the 1 mile radius that they have been searching for the past 4 days, and so we are working to get more information on that. Kurt?
Antoinette, thank you so much. Just to recap, because you're seeing that at the lower bottom of your screen, 7 counts of child neglect. And so again, that's the new breaking information. 7 counts of child neglect that the father, Cory Bigsby.
Okay, so remember, this is from last night. He was in arraignment court today, and he is going to be back in court on Tuesday for a bond hearing.
Now facing his arraignment is set for tomorrow. Now, the reason I want to hold up this flyer again is because they're still looking for information. Yes, these are new developments with the charges, but the burning question is, where is Codi? And so this new flyer was put out that has Cory and Codi's picture on it. Now, look closely and you will see that the timeline has expanded. They want to know if you have seen Codi or Cory or his siblings since Christmas. And so the timeline has expanded. You'll also see that there is a QR code on there, and you're able to scan this QR code right now. You can take your QR code and scan it. And when you do that, it will open up a link, and it will allow you to open up and see pertinent, relevant information about where any nuggets as far as about that can help locate Codi. And so those are the new developments. Again, we want to put those images back up on your screen. There's Codi. There's his father, Cory, who is now facing 7 counts of child neglect. His arraignment is tomorrow. And of course, we will be there. We also have more night crews that are fanned out across.
All right. So that is that one. Let me just scoot out of that. Now there is another one that I wanted to play for you. So just give me a quick second. Okay, maybe it won't show me. All right. So he had arraignment court this morning. And the 7 counts of felony child neglect was to do with leaving Codi and his siblings alone for a period 3 hours. One was for 3 hours, and then the other one was for several hours. So let me just and there's this one here. Let me just share my screen again. I hope everybody's having a better day today. What's going on here? Let's mute that.
We love him. We love him. That's like loving your own kid. He's a kid. He's a 4-year-old kid. Look at this. You see this? How you cannot love a kid? Huh? This is terrible. It really is. It breaks your heart.
Parents. parents, neighbors, and the community compelled to scour the area.
So we're on day 5 now.
Buckrow Point Apartments,
searching for Codi.
Searching for any signs of Codi Bigsby.
It is now day 4 of the search for the 4-year-old little boy. News 3 was at the family's apartment on Rondelay Drive at noon today. The first to bring you this video of officers carrying bags of evidence out of the Bigsby home.
The boy's father is still being questioned as a person of interest in this case.
News 3 has never left the scene, day and night, bringing you each new development in this heartbreaking case. And right now, Kurt Williams is live in Hampton, leading our coverage with a team of News 3 reporters.
So Kurt, brings up to speed. What is the very latest out there in Hampton?
Todd and Barbara, a lot of activity out here, new developments. You mentioned some of them. Those bags of evidence seen coming from Codi's apartment. Our cameras were rolling and caught that. There is also an expanded timeline of when investigators want to hear from you as far as the last time you believe you may have seen Codi. And then there's also just a lot more activity out here as well. And we have what we call a mast cam. It's a camera attached to our mast. And if we can take that now, we can show you the big picture view. So we now also have more vehicles out here, more emergency response vehicles, more tents. So we have the Hampton Roads Communications Response Unit out here, the Hampton Roads Incident Management Team, the Chesapeake Fire Marshals, the Chesapeake Community Emergency Response Team. And I asked the folks from Chesapeake, were y'all asked to come out here? They said, no, we volunteered. So a lot to unpack of what's going out here. And of course, we have been bringing you team coverage. And once again, on this 4th day of searching for Codi, we have team coverage. We have News 3's Chelsea Donovan and News 3's Ellen Ice out here. We first want to go to Chelsea Donovan. And Chelsea, I walked back there and saw all the activity that was going on in front of Codi's apartments. And you were there when those bags of evidence started being hauled out of the house.
Oops, sorry, guys.
Yeah, Kurt, that happened just about 4 hours ago.
I wonder what they, I know there was 4 siblings all together living with, including Codi, living with Cory, the father. Apparently he has 8 children, and 4 of them were living with him at this residence. I do believe it was Codi, a set of twins, and then a 5-year-old. I could be wrong on that. So let's continue on.
Ago, and they're still doing that now. Actually, forensics teams just a few minutes ago left the scene with collection kits and bags of evidence. But take a look behind me. This is Cory and Codi's home. You can see the Hampton police officers have been posted up here now for about 4 hours as folks have been going in and out and collecting evidence all afternoon. Other things that they've been doing, though, here from the police department, they've been canvassing the neighborhood. Take a look at this flyer. This is really at pretty much every apartment here in the Buckrow Point community. You can see, do you know Codi, his father or his siblings? Have you seen Codi or his father since Christmas? So that's that expanded timeline you were talking about, Kurt. Do you live in Buckrow Point Apartments and have Ring doorbell or other surveillance cameras? Of course, they're asking now the FBI to get involved in this along with Hampton Police and all of these other agencies. Let's take you back to about noon when we were first on the scene showing you that video of those teams coming in. Also, these police going door to door asking these residents for help. Of course, what we saw is these forensic teams, they suited up with collection kits and paper bags in hand, searching inside the home that Codi shares with his siblings. Now, Hampton police would not confirm, they wouldn't tell me if the search warrants had been executed for probable cause or if Cory Bigsby gave his consent. Now, Cory, still voluntarily at the Hampton Police Department, he's answering those questions. His sister did tell me today, though, that he did retain a lawyer. She was actually out here just a few minutes ago. We caught up with her. I asked her several questions as where she thinks Codi is and if she thinks her brother is innocent. Take a listen to this interview.
There's nothing I can really say at this point. We've retained counsel, and if you want, you can direct your questions to him.
But, do you believe that your brother is innocent? What can we say to have you defend him?
There's nothing I can say about that at this time. I think Codi is alive and well. We just need to find him.
When is the last time you saw Codi?
That is irrelevant, and I just told you I don't want to speak on that. If I knew where he is, I would have found him by now. So I don't know.
Wow. So now his sister is basically not going to say nothing regarding Cody's disappearance. You think she would say the last time that she's seen him, like, come on. This is a little 4-year-old boy that you're looking for. Your nephew.
Oh, why would I not think he's alive? Why would anybody rule out the fact that he's alive?
I also asked her when is the last time she spoke or even saw Cody, and she refused to answer that. One of the things that she was very emphatic on, though, is where is Cody's mother, and why isn't she here searching the ground and scouring this area like she is or all of these other agencies? She says that she resides in D.C., but said she has no idea where she was at this point. We'll continue to monitor things going here at the Bigsby home. For now, we're live in Hampton. Back to you.
Chelsea, thank you so much. Our team coverage now continues with News 3's Ellen Ice. And Ellen, you have the community response, and what have they been telling you as we are now in day 4 in the search for Cody?
Well, Kurt, they've told me that they're tired. They're wanting answers as to where Cody is and what possibly could have happened. Let's take a look at some video from earlier today. The command center has been busy today. Suffolk Fire and Rescue brought their mobile command center out. Police have also added more tents. They tell me they're preparing for the rain that's supposed to be moving in. And we've heard no official update from police today, no press conference, except a tweet that asked for Codi and Cory Bigsby's whereabouts going back to Christmas. And we saw search crews out by Belle Isle Marina going through the marsh and checking the surrounding area. People who are searching tell us they are tired and they want answers.
This boy have not been found. Now I want to keep my cool. This boy have not been found. And I hate to think the worst. That means we got to press the father more.
And we do know that the father is still at the police station and is answering questions, and he has retained counsel. Kurt, back to you.
All right, Ellen, thank you so much. Now, a moment ago, we showed you these new flyers. We told you that these were coming out today. What I want to do now is if you have your cell phone with you, grab your cell phone because there is a QR code. And we're going to hold this up because what this will allow you to do is scan this. I'm going to try to hold it really still. And then what happens is a link opens up and it has all of the pertinent information regarding Codi. And this will allow you to kind of just have it in case you don't have one of these flyers. This will allow you to have this. And this is why Hampton Police put that QR code on there so that you could have this with you at all time. And so that's just one of the other layers in this investigation, how they're trying to enlist the support of the community. Again, tremendous amount of activity taking place behind me. You saw the images we had earlier of the bags of evidence that were being retrieved from Codi's home. And then also when I went back there just to scope out to see what was going on, I talked to a resident who lived a few doors down from Codi. And she was just telling me that it's just sad and it's frustrating that there are no answers. And she also said that it was sad because it used to be that the kids would play out in this neighborhood after school until it got dark. And she said since all of this is unfolded, the kids aren't coming out.
All right, so, wow. So I don't know if you watched my other video on this, but Cory used to be in the Army. And if you look at his Facebook post, pictures, his Facebook is under Cory Black, which I don't understand why. However, when you look through his pictures, you can see an Army picture of several Army pictures of him with his uniform on that says Bigsby. And that's okay. So let me see if we can. Sorry, guys. Let me refresh my page here. See if Hampton. I'm hoping that they'll air it on Twitter because that's where I'm at. Okay. Nothing. Let me just do this here. Sorry, guys. So we're in day 5 for the search. And sister's not talking. Dad has retained counsel. I don't know where to go for this. Anybody in chat there? No. Okay. What's this say? So this is from the Daily Press. Hopefully I don't have to. Okay, so we'll just listen to this article because it saves my voice.
Hours before arrest of Codi Bigsby's father, FBI raises speculation about the Hampton boy's disappearance. Hampton, the father of a 4-year-old boy reported missing earlier this week, was arrested on 7 counts of felony child neglect, the Hampton Police Division announced Thursday night. Cory Bigsby, 43, was booked into the Hampton City Jail about 7 p.m. A local law enforcement source said the charges pertain to the missing boy, Codi Bigsby, as well as 3 other siblings living in the home. But the investigation into Codi's disappearance is still very active, police said. This is not the conclusion of the investigative process. We will continue to do everything in our power to find Codi, Hampton Police spokesman Sergeant Reggie Williams said in a news release shortly after Bigsby's arrest. We have covered a tremendous amount of ground, spoken to hundreds of citizens, and followed every possible lead.
To the News 3 newsroom.
Our search efforts to find Codi will continue throughout the weekend. Investigators from the Hampton Police Division and FBI are working to pinpoint
Just
where
saving my
and when
voice,
Codi was
guys.
last
Sorry.
seen, asking anyone who encountered him since the holidays to come forward. Cory Bigsby reported his son missing at about 9 a.m. Monday, telling authorities he last saw him sleeping in his bed about 7 hours earlier, but police have been openly skeptical of that account. The FBI appealed to the public in a...
Yeah, they said that last time Cory has seen his son Codi when he was sleeping. However, I don't know. I've had 6 kids, and none of my kids wore flip-flops to bed, so I don't know how you can say that he was wearing Spider-Man flip-flops when he was asleep. To me, that is a big red flag. Let's continue on.
In a message Thursday morning that was distributed on the Hampton Police Division's social media pages. Have you seen Codi, his father Cory, or his siblings since Christmas? The FBI message asked. The message also asked anyone who knows the family, and anyone in the neighborhood with home security surveillance footage that might be helpful, to call the FBI. Hampton police have not said when Codi was last seen by anyone outside of his family, with the FBI post raising speculation that he has been missing since Christmas. We don't have that, said Corporal Ernest Williams, a Hampton police spokesman, when asked if the boy was seen over the holidays. We just reached out trying to get as much data on him as possible. So we just stretched it out a little more. Search warrants in the case have been filed under seal at Hampton Circuit Court. But investigators were seen removing bags and boxes of items from the family's home Thursday afternoon, according to footage from WTKR-TV.
All right, so that's basically, we've already gone over all that, so let me just clear that out. I'm trying to find... All right, guys, sorry. Let me just... It's almost noon, and I know it's supposed to be... I figured they would have it set up already. Oh, press conference. Spell it right.
What if I come
make a difference and not just have one house, but buy the block and change the whole.
All right, what's this here? I want to play that, pause that. All right, okay, so let me just share my screen. If anybody in chat knows where the press conference is, I can't seem to find one now. All of a sudden it seems to, I am on my Twitter, but I'm going to share this. This is, see if you can see it. Okay.
A difference and not just have one house, but buy the block and change the whole entire dynamic.
Whitney Guyton is the founder of We Buy the Block. Her real estate investment firm already purchased the former TCC building on High Street in Old Town Portsmouth and is eyeing other nearby areas.
Hang on a second. I thought this was to do with... it says arrest warrant. I don't understand. Oh, maybe. Never mind. Okay. Give me one quick second, guys. Doo-doo.
Incidents that go back well over a month.
Somebody else is trying to look for it too. All right. Oh my God. Come on, Twitter. Pick up the pace. Doo-doo. I'm on the Hampton Police. You think... Oh, here we go. Sorry. So they're 15 minutes away. Let me share my screen. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. All right. Let's try. Oh, I wonder if they have it. Oh, go back. So it looks like we're just waiting right now. I'm hoping. Oh, now where the bleep? Okay. What? I don't. Which one's that? Okay, well, it's noon. I don't remember. Oh, somebody asked. Nerdy Alex asked if she's going to be live, but has not. Let me follow. Where's Nerdy at? Why can't they just make this friggin' easy? That's just a photo, so I don't understand. Come on. La 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 la. All right, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry, my language. Press her soon. So that was 21 minutes ago, but it gets, come on, people. Am I not in the right? Let me stop my camera for a second. Sorry. What the? Okay, I'm still looking, guys. I don't understand. Nothing's updating. Why? All right. Well, if anybody's out there is watching that, can you let me know? Really don't have to delete another freaking video because all right. Live press conference. Codi Bigsby. Come on. Why is that 2 hours ago? I thought it was. Oh, la 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 la. All right. Apologies. Here it is. Share my screen.
I obviously won't speak to the evidence that we have specifically. We are still investigating the last time that Codi was seen alive and well by anyone. So if there's anybody out there that might be able to help us with that, we would like to know. The charges that speak to the events that occurred on January 25th are based on what we've done up until this point in the investigation.
Being that there is no Amber Alert issue, would Hampton Police Department be willing to stand behind the Codi alert that would alert citizens in a local area of a kid going missing? You could just start locally and stand from there. Would the Hampton Police Department support something like that?
I'd like to continue to focus on Codi Bigsby as the primary focus right now. At some point moving forward, I think there will be a lot of time to evaluate whether or not we do the right thing to keep all kids safe. I will say Amber Alert is a great tool. It was created in 1996. In 2022, we're all connected. I don't think that we had any difficulty getting the word out about this missing child, and to this day, we're not having any difficulty with that.
One of the biggest questions that people are having in the community is where is Codi's mother? Is she being questioned? What can you tell us about some of these questions that don't happen? That is why she's not out here scouring for her son as well.
I appreciate everybody who's concerned and has those types of questions. I think we should all have questions when a 4-year-old child goes missing. We know where his mother is. We've spoken to her, and she has answered our questions.
Is there someone else that could be involved in the disappearance of Codi that you're looking into that maybe works with him? Is that a possibility that you're looking into?
We've found no evidence to support someone else involved. Certainly, we're interested in any information that would lead someone to believe he's outside of the city of Hampton or the state of Virginia. We're certainly interested in that. Again, we have no information information or facts or reasonable belief that that's the case. Is that a question? Okay. Sure.
Is it still your belief that Codi Bigsby can be found alive? Do you still believe that 5 days after he was reported?
I will tell you that we are continuing to search and hope that we can bring Codi Bigsby home. With each day that passes, we become more and more concerned, and we lose a little bit more hope. Obviously, the longer we go, the more tragic it feels.
Chief, is there any reason y'all were doing searches at Harris Teeter's today? Like, what about Starbucks and what about the other?
Yes, where we search, we have a reason to search.
Chief, is there any evidence that you found that Child Protective Services has Codi Bigsby's family or something like that? I know that there's no.
It would be inappropriate for me to answer that question.
Chief, there's a lot of enforcement only allows 50 citizens a daily extension. Would that be a regular practice and not let more of the community exist? Because there were hundreds of people that wanted to help and they were turned away from helping. So is that going to be a regular occurrence for your prison? There's only 50 citizens allowed to exist?
We encouraged the public participation. We had a tremendous amount, and we continue to get a tremendous amount of support from the public. We asked for a specific number of citizens to help us on a particular day. We didn't want to extend our resources beyond what we could handle. The public is always welcome to go out, check their yards, check their trash cans, check areas that they may know, recheck what you know that we did. We are certainly not sitting in some space where we want to prevent people from helping. But we got a significant amount of public support, which we appreciate.
Cory Bigsby still cooperating and answering your questions at this time?
He is in a jail cell right now.
Chief, why was it so hard on yesterday for his lawyer to get into the jail and speak with the father? Why was the lawyer denied access on yesterday to speak to his father?
Thank you. Mr. Bigsby is a 43-year-old man who's had a full career in the Army. He retired from a position of authority. He seems to be quite intelligent. He seems to be quite capable. And part of his capabilities seems to be understanding his rights. At no time did he request to see an attorney. Had he made such a request, we would have honored that request.
Do you know, did the children have like a regular babysitter? Who were they in contact with? Where are the other kids now?
We are not aware of a babysitter.
Where are the other children?
They're safe and thriving.
A few days ago, you said abduction was just not what the evidence was pointing to, and abduction usually is some kind of violent act. Is there a chance he was handed off to a family member and a family member took that, or would you put that under the umbrella of abduction?
There's no evidence that he was handed off to a family member. I will say, I've known a few 4-year-olds in my life. I don't know any who decide at any hour of the morning when it's dark to leave their home. I don't know any that do that. I don't believe that that's what happened this time either.
Chief, allegedly, they say he was not here. Y'all said on news multiple times. He was here voluntarily. It's alleged that he was back here voluntarily. Who was staying here for 4 days in the childhood? Was he held against his will or in custody?
Next question, please.
So there's a yes or no. Was he held against his
I think I answered. I'll repeat my response. From earlier. Mr. Bigsby is a 43-year-old man with a full career in the United States Army. I'm going to finish my response, miss.
Was he
I'm
here
going to finish my
voluntarily?
response.
Yes or no answer, sir.
He was a capable man who had every opportunity to ask for an attorney. He did not make such a request. If he would have made that request, we would have honored it.
That was not the question. We have his family here.
sorry, could you repeat your question? I cannot answer that question. That would be speculation.
When it comes to the search over the next few days, is V down? Is anybody pulling out resources, or it's still going full force? Do we have enough resources to keep going full force?
We will continue to investigate all the leads that we have available and search the areas where we need to search.
All agencies still helping if they can?
Yes, the agencies that have been helping have agreed to continue to help.
Chief, do you have reason to believe that Codi Bigsby is alive?
Each day, it becomes harder and harder to believe that Codi Bigsby is alive and well.
Can you say when the last time his mother spoke to Codi?
No, I cannot say.
Do you know when the last time?
I do not know.
Has she been asked that question?
It would be inappropriate for me to answer that question.
Chief, I don't know if you can answer this. So, when Cory contacted y'all that his son was missing, had he returned from one of these situations where he left the children at home, came home, and Codi was missing, or can you not comment on that?
I'm not going to comment on that.
And Chief, photographs at home. Some people, regardless of their educational background, still are not aware that they have the right to an attorney. So that being said, if you at any time notify that you have an attorney or if someone's family hires a lawyer to go see their client, is it permissible for the attorney to go see that person? Or
Mr. Sir, again, for everybody, I'm here for a 4-year-old child. I'm here for a 4-year-old child. His father was made aware of his rights. His father was absolutely made aware of his rights. We will continue to do everything possible to find his son's or his child that is permissible and appropriate. We've never taken a step that was impermissible or inappropriate.
Chief, can I ask you, I know 2 days ago at a press conference, you said you do not believe that Codi may have gone missing when the 2 a.m. time that was originally put out. Can you say with confidence now that it's not when he went missing?
What I said is that the facts that we had didn't match up with what we were being told in a number of cases. So we simply need to investigate more to determine when exactly he went missing.
Chief, for the record, we all are here for the child, but we all are here to also make sure y'all follow the laws that has been constituted. So everybody is required to have a fair trial. And if we're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until we prove our innocence.
Chief, do you feel like there's a disconnect between the community, law enforcement, and city officials? Because the citizens still haven't heard anything from the mayor. We still haven't heard anything from city council, and you're the chief of police and the city manager. These are who the city looks up to. And a lot of the city community feels like there wasn't as much of a sense of urgency for this 4-year-old you keep mentioning as there should be. We feel as if there was a stronger local leadership, this would have been on CNN, Fox News, and every other outlet to try to find this 4-year-old that we have been tirelessly searching for the last 4 days voluntarily. So do you feel as if there is a disconnect between law enforcement, city officials, and the community?
No. We've been supported completely. We've been supported by the mayor, the city manager, the assistant city manager, by other agencies. Fire chief is standing up here with us. We've had a significant amount of support. I am the police chief. This is my responsibility to lead this investigation. I've had everything that I've needed to lead this investigation. There is no disconnect. I will take one more question. Yes, ma'am.
We asked for the public health to put together a timeline of the last days before Codi's last week. Has that been helpful? Have you been able to put together a timeline of his father's whereabouts? What he's doing?
We have a timeline that we're working on that still needs work. It's a work in progress. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
Please ask the family questions. The family is here.
All right, so that was the press conference. I did miss, oh, what the heck? There we go. Approximately maybe 2 minutes. Let's just see here. This will pop up. Okay, so this is, I'm just trying to see what this is. Okay, so let me see if we can get the first couple minutes that we maybe missed. Maybe it will give it to us, I don't know. Since it just aired. Okay. Okay, what's this here? So that was, let's close that. So the police did say that he was in the Army, had a career in the Army and has retired. So he does, he knows he knows what he's doing, like, you know what I mean? So officials asked anyone who has last seen Codi or his siblings since Christmas. So they're going back now quite a bit, back into 2021. And our police are asking for any cameras, ring cameras, and stuff. So I guess Codi's dad admitted to leaving his children alone on at least 2 occasions, and that is where the child neglect comes from. So WABY News 10 reached out to the U.S. Army for information about his military. Army spokesperson Matt Leonard confirmed Friday today that Cory Bigsby served as a cargo specialist from September of 97 until September of 2017. He completed 2 deployments to Afghanistan and 2 to Iraq during his 10-year service. In response to the inquiry if he was honorably discharged, Leonard said, due to privacy constraints, they are not able to provide characterization of discharge for any soldier. So, all right. So, thank you for staying with me, whoever was with me. Sorry for I was a little bit late, but that's okay. On the press conference, I'm hoping it wasn't very long, maybe most 3-4 minutes. So, and I think it was just going over the charges, which we already know. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you for those who did join me. Please stay safe. And on another note, just want to say, I hope that they find him alive. And I don't know where Mom is in the picture. Police did say that they have spoken with Mom. So I don't think that they assume that she is involved because she does live in another state. So there is that. All right, guys, stay safe, and I will catch you on my next live. If anything comes to light regarding this case, I will try to get it to you as soon as I can. So thank you for being with me, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.